Sunday, July 29th, 2018. That's what the Kenai River looks like. Today is the last day where your bag limit for the red sockeyes is 3 a day. Tomorrow they lower it down to 1 a day. Today also was the last day for dip netting here in Kenai and Soldatna area. Beautiful here. 9:45 right now. Still light. It's gonna be like this till about midnight. If the sky's like this. Doing this video kind of to give you some information. If you've never been to the Kenai River, to the Kasilov River, Soldatna, Kenai, the Kenai Peninsula in general. I'm going to show you kind of what I got just about 10 minutes ago. Here's what your sockeye red's going to look like. This one's about almost 24 inches. Beautiful. Still alive. What I do is I just cut their gills to preserve the fish. But I'm doing this video kind of to show you, give you some information if you've never been here and if you want to come here, because my first time coming here was last year. It's my second year in a row being here. And I was clueless on what to do, how to get here. The only plane, major airlines pretty much, they fly into Anchorage. Coming in from Seattle, it's a midnight flight for about 3.5 hours. And then pretty much you have to either stay in Anchorage at, what is it, like 12 or 1 a.m. or you have somebody pick you up. About a week-long rental of a car is about $600 to $800. Uber, just driving here, is a few $100s. There's a lot of lodges, as you can see. Really pretty, beautiful. But these things are so expensive. See, there's people fishing over there on the other side. Pretty lodges over there. All over the place. But your best bet for coming here is either research. Find a friend. Maybe get like 3 or 4 of your buddies and split with gas. Rent a car, split gas. Get an Airbnb place to stay here, because the hotels here, they're not so hot. They're mostly inns and motels. Nothing really fancy here in Kenai, Soldatna. I'm staying at a brother-in-law's house, so for me it's kind of a good deal, because he drives us from the airport here. It's about a 3.5 hour ride from Anchorage to Kenai. But what I did this year, I actually got a plane ticket from Anchorage to Kenai. It was a company called Grant Aviation. There are several companies. There's Grant, there's Era, and there's one more. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. But you can get a ticket for about $85, and it's a 25-minute flight. It's a very beautiful flight, and I think it's well worth it. Instead of driving for 3.5 hours just to fly here, and then rent a car here in Kenai, Soldatna, wherever you go, Homer, any of these places in the peninsula, and then just drive here and then get an Airbnb place to stay with your friends. Or if you come by yourself and if you don't care about spending the money, that's fine too. You know, everybody is kind of their own thing, but you can do that. And I figured that's kind of the best method of spending your time here. The best time to come here to the peninsula to fish for reds is about mid to 2/3 of July. So anytime from the 15th up to like the 18th through 22nd. I came here the 23rd and I'm staying until the 31st. And I came a little too late because the major run, there was only one of them this season in July. Only about 60,000 reds came in. And I missed it by 2 days. And so right now I'm just kind of catching one fish a day. Which for me, I'm here for for the fun of it, for the experience. Yes, I want more fish, but that's kind of what I do. Also, give me just a second to put this music on pause. What I do, I use fish eggs, salmon roe for bait. You can use it for bait for the silvers, which are coming up right after the reds. And I eat part of them. I make a salt brine. What you do is you get a tennis racket. First of all, there's 2 packets of fish eggs in one salmon. You put it on this tennis racket and you kind of rub it onto the tennis racket kind of firm, and the salmon roe is going to come off of it. Then what you do is you take a pot, you put enough salt in the pot. Here's the trick. So a raw egg would float. So what I do is I add salt, put an egg in there, see if it floats. If it doesn't, I add more salt, stir it, put an egg in. As soon as it starts floating, that's when I know I have enough salt to make my brine. And then I get these separated eggs from the pouch. I put them in this brine for about 5 minutes. I take them out, I rinse them. I rinse them with just fresh cold water. Clean out, you'll see little particles from the pouches, little white filaments, fibers from the sac onto some of the eggs. You separate all those out. And then again, put it in this salt brine, another salt brine for another 5 minutes. What I do to make it kind of not too salty is I rinse it one more time, just for about like 15 seconds. Rinse it, and then put it through a mesh kind of container so the water drips out. And that's it. There's your caviar prepared, safe to eat. That's how I prepare it. Just put some butter on my bread, and there you go. That's breakfast for you. Really healthy alternative to eggs. But going back to the subject of staying here and just having your time on the Kenai River especially. You got to watch out. I was here last year and I caught a Dolly Vartan. It's a type of, I guess, a mix between a salmon and a trout. And I didn't know about it, and I got a ticket by a game warden. So be careful what you catch. Know that it's a salmon that you're catching, obviously. In the regular season, it's 3 reds a day. Or you can stay, for example, if you're coming in at 10 p.m. and if you're fishing to the next day, you can have 6 total, kind of your bag limit, 6 total possession. And then what other advice can I give you about staying here? Food's kind of expensive here, so what we do is we just go to the grocery store, buy food, and just prepare your own stuff at home. Another thing you can do if you're coming in from Anchorage, you can go to the Costco there, stock up on food, and then when you're here at your Airbnb or wherever you're staying, you can prepare that food. So it's kind of another alternative you can do. Make sure to get some waders. Obviously, as you can see, mine are going up to my chest because some of these places, as you walk along this riverbed, some of them you'll get a good half of your body wet. So you got to be, or you'll fall down because there's lots of rocks. I don't know if I can show you any, but they're big rocks just periodically. And people trip all the time. Every day you'll see a couple people fall, a couple people trip. So bring some good waders. Preferably don't get the ones, don't get those boot waders, the ones that go over here to your kind of upper thigh, because in some of the places the current's pretty good, and you just want to be safe. Also, some things to bring with you. Bring a rope with you to tie your fish all the time. We get a good net. People laugh at me for taking the supplies that I take, but I mean, I really don't care. Hold on, let me switch this. I like a good little challenge when I'm fishing here, so it's a very lightweight reel. The rod I bought here on site, focus in on it. So the line weight is recommended 10 to 30 pounds. I'm currently using a 15-pound test line on my pole, and pretty easy to catch here. What you do, you don't need to throw far. Just kind of toss maybe 15 feet away from the shore. You see my line, it's drifting, and then you just twist up. You see my leader, it's about good 4 to 5 feet. My weight, and then my hook, it's about a number 3 hook with some yarn attached to it. That's it, just go at it. People do this all day. Sometimes I spend up to 7 hours here just going back and forth. You let your line go to the end. Most of the fish you'll kind of get on your hook is going to be kind of from this area right here, because the fish is coming in more or less towards the banks. It's not going to be in the, well, most of the fish that we catch here from the shore, not from boats. It's going to be more or less 5, I'd say like from 3 to 10 feet away from the banks. Also, the state here, they put these mesh things so you don't walk on the banks. That's kind of the reason why you have to have the waders, is so you can walk in 2.5, 3 feet of water. On the other side, you see what some people do. In the resorts, they give you this little bridge that you can fish off of, so you don't have to wear waders.